Hello everyone, welcome to Narayana online classes. We are going to be practicing some basic questions from prerequisites of 2D geometry. Today mostly we would be dealing with different centers inside a triangle. Alright? Okay, let's start. If A 3x1, 3y1, B 3x2, 3y2, C 3x3, 3y3 are vertices of a triangle with orthocenter H at x1 plus x2 plus x3, y1 plus y2 plus y3, then angle ABC is equal to what? Alright. Often the kind of coordinates that are given to you, they would have some hidden information. Okay, so what you should do is observe it carefully and ask, is there something special that's going on? For example, when you look at these vertices and then you look at these x1 plus x2 plus x3, y1 plus y2 plus y3, clearly all these vertices coordinates are getting added and divided by 3, then you get this. But when you add vertices and divide by 3, that is a formula for centroid, correct? So what this means is, for this triangle, centroid and orthocenter are at the same position. That is special. Okay. So let us first write given triangle ABC where A is 3x1, 3y1, B 3x2, 3y2, C 3x3, 3y3, right? So now also and H orthocenter x1 x1 plus x2 plus x3 comma y1 plus y2 plus y3, right? That is the orthocenter. So now observe, this is clearly an observation that centroid comma G, what will be its G, what will be the expression? 3x1 plus 3x2 plus 3x3, right? All the x coordinates divided by 3, comma 3y1 plus 3y2 plus 3y3 divided by 3, right? So clearly that comes to, which means G, when you add them divided by 3, you get x1 plus x2 plus x3, comma y1 plus y2 plus y3, right? Which means centroid G and orthocenter, which is H, are coincident. Now something special is definitely happening. What is special? Now I will just tell you in general, between centroid, orthocenter, circumcenter, incenter, if any two are coincident, you can just go ahead and say it is an equilateral triangle. But why should that happen? Let us take a look. So what we are being told is that we have a particular triangle where let us say this is the orthocenter, which means it is the point of intersection of altitudes, right? And it is also the centroid, which means these are also medians, right? AD, BE, CF. Now if these are also medians, that means BD equal to DC, EC equal to EA, BF equal to AF, right? So on one hand you can say, because everything is so symmetric, it must be an equilateral triangle. If not, it is not necessary that all the sides are equal. So let us also differentiate that. Okay, so if AD, BE and CF are altitudes and also medians, we can just say, and also medians, medians implies, now observe this carefully, I can just say that by congruence, triangle ABD and triangle ACD are congruent, therefore angle B equal to angle C. Similarly, angle B equal to angle A. Similarly, angles A equal to angle C. Therefore, all the angles are equal, therefore it's an equilateral triangle. Correct? It is as simple as that, right? Implies triangle ABD and ACD. Triangle ABD is congruent to triangle ACD, which means angle B equal to angle C. Similarly, angle C equal to angle A and angle A equal to angle B, right? Which means all the angles are equal to pi by 3. How? This is an equilateral triangle, right? And therefore your angle, the angle ABC would be pi by 3, right? Angle ABC is angle B, which is pi by 3, correct? In general, out of any of the four centers, if two are coincident, you can just go ahead and say that it must be an equilateral triangle. Okay? Alright, let us proceed then. Circumradius of the triangle with vertices 2a, 0, 2a, 2b and 0, 2b is what? Alright, let us first try and understand what this triangle looks like. So, let us say this is the origin, 2a, 0. 2a, 0 will lie on the x-axis, then 0, 2b, it will lie on the y-axis, right? 0, 2b. Deliberately I have taken different lengths because 2a and 2b are of different lengths. And there is a point 2a, 2b. Now 2a, 2b clearly will lie straight above 2a and straight to the right side of 2b, correct? For the simple reason that this is like x1, 0, 0, y1 and then x1, y1. Obviously, it will lie exactly above and to the right of these 2 points. This is 2a, 2b, right? Let us label them. Let us call this A, B and C. And they are asking circumradius of this triangle. So, first, clearly this is a rectangle. If this is a rectangle, that means this is 90 degree, right? So, clearly angle C equal to 90 degrees, correct? Because of how the coordinates are positioned, right? Since you can mention OACB is a rectangle. Alright. Now, if this is a right angle triangle, what do we know about circumcenter of a right angle triangle, right? Generally draw a right angle triangle, right? Call the PQR. What do you know about its circumcenter? I hope you remember this from earlier classes. Midpoint of the hypotenuse is the circumcenter of a right angle triangle. Why is that the case? Because again, I hope you remember this. If using the hypotenuse as a diameter, if you draw a circle, compulsorily it will pass through the right angled vertex, correct? Do you remember this? Right? So, this is something that you have studied in earlier classes. We know that midpoint of hypotenuse is circumcenter of a right angle, of any right angle triangle. So here now we are just looking for midpoint of hypotenuse, right? So here once again, what does it look like? Something like this. This is point A 2a comma 0, this is 2a comma 2b, C and B, which is 0 comma 2b. So hypotenuse is AB. Here AB is hypotenuse. Which means midpoint of AB is circumcenter. But they're asking for circumradius, right? Now circumradius means what? It means the distance of circumcenter from any of the vertices, correct? So let us call this point as M, right? Circumradius, let us call this M, circumradius equal to MA equal to MB equal to MC, right? It can be any one of these three things. We can actually find any one of those three things. Now, one way to do this would be actually to find out the midpoint, coordinates of midpoint. Let us do that. Not sure if we have space. Okay. One way to do this would be to find out the midpoint. Okay. What will be the midpoint? 2a plus 0 upon 2 and 2b plus 0 upon 2. And from that point, find the distance to any one of the vertices. Correct? So, okay, let's do that. That is the more simpler one. Which means M would be 2a plus 0 upon 2 comma 0 plus 2b upon 2, which is basically a comma b, right? So M is a comma b, and circumradius equal to MC, let us say, where M is a comma b, C is 2a comma 2b, right? Check that. Any one of them, actually MA, MA, you can take any one of the vertices. I am going with MC. So M is a comma b, C is 2a comma 2b, right? Which means MC would be under root a minus 2a the whole square plus b minus 2b the whole square, right? Which is how much? A minus 2a is minus a the whole square will be a square only. B minus 2b is minus b, and minus b the whole square will be b square, right? Is the circumradius. Right? So circumradius of this triangle is under root a square plus b square. Correct? This is definitely one way to do it. Alternately, let us just look at it and do it by diagram. Okay. We know this is a right angle triangle where this is 2a comma 0, 0 comma 2b and 2a comma 2b, right? So we also know that using AB and this is point C, right? We know using AB as a diameter, we can draw a circle, right? That must pass through C. Right? So circumradius must be exactly half the diameter, right? If this is the AB is the diameter for this circle, compulsory circumradius is half the diameter. How much? What is the length of diameter? 2a the whole square plus 2b the whole square. Take half of that. Sorry, not 2a the whole square. Square root of 2a the whole square and 2b the whole square. Take half of that. That is also circumradius. You can just do that, right? We know that using AB as diameter, circle passes through C, which means circumradius would be equal to half of AB. If that is the diameter, half of that is circumradius, which again if you calculate it will turn out to be root of a square plus b square, right? I am doing this because there is no space, but you understand what I am doing, right? Okay, so your answer is root a square plus b square. All right, let us proceed. If O is the orthocenter of the triangle formed by A 1, minus 3, B 7, 2, C 2, 5, then the distance between the orthocenters of triangle BOC and triangle AOB. Alright. So often students ask, just as there is a formula for centroid, is there a formula for orthocenter? Actually, yes, there is, that uses angles and the coordinates of the vertices, but it is so complicated and you don't need to memorize it. So what should you do? What you should do is try and ask every single time, is there anything special about this triangle? Often you will figure out, or is there any orthocenter property that is being used? Okay. Most of the times the question should be you should be able to solve it. Even if none of those things are given, then later when you learn how to write equations of lines and equations of perpendicular lines, then you will be able to solve. I mean, it's a long procedure, but you will be able to solve for the orthocenter. Okay, my suggestion would be try not to memorize the formula of orthocenter. Okay, so here O is the orthocenter of the triangle, the three vertices are given. Then the distance between orthocenters of triangle BOC and triangle AOB. Okay, so we have a triangle ABC. All right, draw their altitudes. This is O. Right, now let us ask, where is the orthocenter of triangle BOC? Okay, so just draw BOC separately. BOC. Clearly, this angle is obtuse, right? Angle is obtuse, which means if I want to draw the altitudes, it must lie outside the triangle, right? So extend this side. Now I want to drop first through O. If you drop an altitude, it will fall like this, right? Then extend O, BO, and then drop an altitude from C. It will go something like that, right? Then extend OC, drop an altitude through B. It will go something like that, right? Now we need to ask, where are these three altitudes meeting, right? Those three altitudes must meet somewhere. We need to find that orthocenter. Okay, so if I now extend these three altitudes, they are meeting somewhere, right? Call that point P. Is there anything special about point P? Observe these two diagrams. Do you realize I have drawn the same triangle? Which means point P and point A are the same. This is something that you need to understand. Okay, what did you do? First, using the three vertices, you figure out the orthocenter. Then the triangle BOC is given, where B was the earlier orthocenter. Okay, now for triangle BOC, we need to find the orthocenter. You drop the altitudes, and then when you extend the altitudes, you will realize that point is actually the third vertex. Okay, so instead of explaining too much, I will just say, actually you have done this property earlier. Okay, that we know that orthocenter of triangle formed by two vertices and O is automatically it is the third vertex. Okay, this is a continuous statement. Don't break this statement, okay, just because of how I have drawn it. So this is a continuous statement. We know that the orthocenter is the third vertex. So in this case, if I want to find orthocenter of BOC, it must be vertex A, correct? So here orthocenter of triangle, not ABC, triangle BOC is A, and they are asking for triangle AOB of triangle AOB is the third vertex C. Just a third vertex. For BOC, third vertex is A. For AOB, third vertex is C. Right? So question is asking the distance between the orthocenters. Distance between orthocenters is basically the length AC. Now you just need to figure out what is AC, right? Which is just use distance formula. Distance formula AC 1 minus 2 the whole square plus minus 3 minus 5 the whole square, right? Which is this minus 1 square is 1 and minus 8 square will be 64. So this is root 65. Got it? Root 65 is the distance between the orthocenters of these two triangles. Okay? It's actually property that you've studied in earlier classes, but you might have forgotten. Even then you can derive it. Alright? Okay. Then let us proceed. The midpoint of the sides of a triangle are 5, 0, 5, 12 and 0, 12. The orthocenter of this triangle is. Okay? Now, often whenever the coordinates are given, you try and ask yourself, is there anything special of this triangle? Like I've said earlier, right? So here, if you plot the points, if this is the origin, 5, 0, then 0, 12, okay, 0, 12 will be much higher, so let us take this a little bit towards the left. Take this as 5, 0, in which case this is 0, 12, right? And there is a point 5, 12. So write 0, 12 and there is a point 5, 12. So clearly 5, 12 will be exactly above 5, exactly right side of 12. So here 5, 12. Let us label them point A, B and C, right? Now we need to find the orthocenter of this triangle. So once again, OACB is a rectangle. OACB is a rectangle, which means angle C is 90 degrees, right? So now observe this carefully. Hold on, these are not the vertices, okay? I was going to make a mistake that many students also make. These are not the vertices. The question says the midpoint of the sides. These are the midpoints of the sides, okay? In which case, draw this once again. These are the midpoints, right? Now you know that in any triangle, if all the midpoints are joined, you will get those midpoints, they will divide the entire triangle into 4 congruent triangles, which means now try and make those 4 congruent triangles, which means just go by intuition. Let us call this OA, BC. Through C, draw a line parallel to AB, right? Because we know that line joining the midpoint is always parallel to the third side, right? Label those other points. Label them DE, alright? So, now we need to find orthocenter of triangle OED. Okay, so, let line through C parallel to AB meet axis at E and D, right? Which means A, B, C are centers of sides. Which sides? A is for OE, OD, DE respectively. Right? What did I do? I just extended all these sides so that midpoints, no, and then automatically O becomes the third vertex. So now we need to figure out the orthocenter of triangle ODE. Okay, what you have to find? To find orthocenter of triangle ODE. Once again, for your reference, this is right angle, right? Now you remember that orthocenter is the point of intersection of all the altitudes, right? Now this is a property again you might have studied earlier, that for a right angle triangle the orthocenter is automatically the right angle vertex itself. Okay, so we know that in a right angle triangle, orthocenter is right angle vertex. The right angled vertex, right here it is O. But why is that the case? Why is it that in a right angle triangle orthocenter is automatically the right angle vertex? Look at that. If you want to try and draw the altitudes, clearly OE is one altitude, right? Because through E it is the perpendicular to the side OD. Similarly, through D, if I drop a perpendicular to OE, it will go like this. Two perpendiculars are meeting at O, automatically it will be the orthocenter. Now if you are going to ask where is the third altitude, through O, now draw a third altitude. All the altitudes are meeting at O, correct? All the altitudes are meeting at O, therefore O is the orthocenter, right? So which means orthocenter of triangle ODE is O 0, 0, right? Got it? Okay. So here it is extremely important for you to realize that if midpoint sides are like this, the triangle will be like this. Okay, then O becomes the third vertex and the rest you can figure out. Alright? Okay, let us proceed then. If x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3 are vertices of an equilateral triangle such that x1 minus 2 the whole square plus y1 minus 3 the whole square equal to x2 minus 2 the whole square plus y2 minus 3 the whole square equal to x3 minus 2 the whole square plus y3 minus 3 the whole square, then x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus 2 times y1 plus y2 plus y3 is equal to what? Alright. Now obviously the question that should come into your mind would be, why have they given this information like this? x1 minus x2 the whole square plus y1 minus, x1 minus 2 the whole square plus y1 minus 3 the whole square is equal to x2 minus 2 the whole square plus y2 minus 3 the whole square. All these three expressions, they look very similar, no? What is similarity? Instead of x1, y1, we have x2, y2 and then we have x3, y3. The point 2, 3 is the same. First observation. Second observation is that each of this looks like distance formula. It looks like distance formula without the square root. Correct? Okay. So then mathematically what does it mean? Mathematically it means that if these three are the vertices, right, then there is a point 2, 3 where its distance from the vertices is the same. Observe 2, 3, its distance from x1, y1 equal to distance of 2, 3 from x2, y2, same distance from x3, y3, they are all same. Which means what? That this point 2, 3 is equidistant from the three vertices, therefore it is the circumcenter. Okay, this understanding is very important. Alright, so let us write this. So let A x1, y1, B x2, y2, C x3, y3 and point P 2, 3. Right? It is given. No. Then AP square would be x1 minus 2 the whole square plus y1 minus 3 the whole square, etc. right? I mean, similarly, you can write AP square, BP square and CP square. It is given that AP square equal to BP square equal to CP square, right? This whole information we have compressed into this form, AP square equal to BP square equal to CP square. From that we can conclude that AP is equal to BP equal to CP, right? Which means P is a point that is equidistant from the three vertices. What is such a point called? Any point inside a triangle, inside or outside, that is equidistant from the vertices. What is it called? That is the definition of the circumcenter. If you at any point, if you get confused, okay, is it the circumcenter or the orthocenter or the centroid, which point it is, just keep in mind that if this point is equidistant from the three vertices, that means if I draw a circle taking this point as the center, then I can draw a circle that goes through all the three vertices. Correct? If you're not able to visualize that, think about it like this. Take any triangle. Okay. This question has equilateral triangle, so I'm drawing a different scenario. Okay. And we have a point that is equidistant from the three vertices. That is the point P. Which means through taking P as the center, I can actually draw a circle that passes through these 3 points. Right? For this circle, this length AP then becomes the radius. Right? Since. Correct. Here what is happening? Here triangle ABC is equilateral. Okay, so we have figured out two things, that point P is the circumcenter and this triangle is equilateral. How does it get us close to this expression? Now, is it in any way related to circumcenter? No. But it is related to what? It is definitely related to the centroid. Correct? So, keep this aside. Keep this aside. Mark this conclusion. Okay, no, we should have written that P is equidistant from the vertices. Which means P is the circumcenter. Let us write that first. P is the circumcenter. Also, mark this as first conclusion. Also, then this wouldn't be since, it would be that is. Okay. Also, triangle ABC is equilateral. Mark it as 2. Now, what is asked? To find x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus 2 times y1 plus y2 plus y3. Right? So, now, clearly this expression reminds you of centroid expression, correct? So we know that centroid comma G equal to, let us call it Gx comma Gy, which is x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3 comma y1 plus y2 plus y3 the whole by 3. Right? We know that is a centroid. You have studied this earlier, which means required expression is basically 3gx, right? x1 plus x2 plus x3 will be 3gx plus 2 into 3gy. Okay, mark this as third. So now we need to know what is gx and gy. We don't know what is gx and gy, but we do know that this is an equilateral triangle where the circumcenter is 2, 3. But because it's an equilateral triangle where all the centers are same, no, coincident. So circumcenter is the same as centroid. which means gx, gy are basically 2 and 3. Now we can substitute, right? Let us write that down. But from 1 and 2, triangle ABC is equilateral implies P, which is circumcenter, is also the centroid. Centroid, right? Which means P, the point 2, 3 is the same as G, Gx, Gy. Right? So now substitute in 3, because now you know Gx is 2, Gy is 3. Required expression is equal to 3 times Gx is 2 plus 2 into 3 into Gy is 3. How much is that? 6 plus 2 into 9, 18, which is 24, right? This value would be 24. Got it? Yeah? Okay. Let us proceed then. Often in JEE, instead of giving you specific information in words, they would give you the same information in mathematical equations. Now, not every student is able to figure out that this is what it means. So, most students struggle at this stage, where going from English to maths and going from maths to English, that is where you struggle. So, learn whenever you see such questions where instead of giving it in words, they have given it in maths, put a star mark and later use it for revision. Okay, because you will find such questions all the way in 12th standard when you go to conic sections chapter. Okay, there also, just by looking at the equation, you need to figure out what kind of a curve it is, or is there anything special about that curve. Okay, so learn to do that from now itself. Okay, let us proceed then. The orthocenter of triangle with vertices. Okay, very straightforward question. Vertices are given, we need to find the orthocenter. Okay, do we have a formula for orthocenter? Like I said, there is a formula, but we are not going to use that. So what else can we do? Where else does orthocenter appear? Normally, later when you proceed into the further lectures, you will be able to figure out equation of the sides and then equations of altitudes. From their intersection, you can find the orthocenter. Okay, that is also possible. But because right now you don't know that, which means you need to do something else here. Okay, what else? Where else does orthocenter come up? One possibility is that what if this is a right angle triangle? If this is a right angle triangle, then the angle that is 90 degrees, the right angled vertex will be the orthocenter, correct? So let us check that. Okay, we will start with check. Or in general, if a question is based on a triangle, it is always good to check what kind of a triangle is it, right? If it is a special triangle, then you will use special properties. As simple as that. So check. No, wait. Let us first write. Let A root 3 comma root 10, B root 7 comma root 6, and C root 5 comma root 8. Okay, then we are going to now check AB. AB would be under root root 3 minus root 7 the whole square plus root 10 minus root 6 the whole square, right? Which means, let us just use AB square, for convenience. This would be 3. You see, this is A minus B the whole square, no? A minus B the whole square. So, 3 plus 7 minus 2 root, this is 2AB, A square plus B square minus 2AB. So, minus 2 root 3 into 7 plus 10 plus 6 minus 2 root 10 into 6, right? Which is 10 plus 10 plus 6, 26 minus 2 root 21 minus 2 root 60. That is AB square. You cannot simplify it further, so leave it like that. BC square would be root 7 minus root 5 the whole square plus root 6 minus root 8 the whole square, right? That will come out to 7 plus 5 minus 2 root 35, right? 2 root 7 into 5. Then plus 6 plus 8 minus 2 root 6 into 8 is 48, which will add up to 12 plus 14. 12 plus 14 is 26 again, minus 2 root 35 minus 2 root 48. Correct? 15 plus 11. Yeah. That is not matching. 26 may be matching, but the square roots, they are not matching. So, don't get your hopes up. Right. So, we have done AB square, BC square, AC square, and AC square equal to this is ABC. So, root 3 minus root 5 the whole square plus root 10 minus root 8 the whole square, which is 3 plus 5 minus 2 root 15, and then 10 plus 8 minus 2 root 80. 3 plus 5 is 8, 8 plus 18, once again 26 minus 2 root 15 minus 2 root 80, right? So it should be pretty clear to you that definitely the sides are not equal, and it's not as if any two sides, it's not an equilateral triangle. No two sides are equal, so it's not isosceles. And also the surds, the square root parts, even if you add them, nothing is going to get cancelled or subtracted, right? Which means AB square plus BC square cannot be AC square or anything like that, which means it's not a right angle triangle also, right? So clearly, now it looks like we have wasted time, but we have not wasted time. Okay, it's always good to check what kind of a triangle is being made. So we will say clearly triangle ABC is scaling, right? Which means none of the sides are equal, and it is not even a right angle triangle. So, and not right angled also. So, no special properties. Now, if there are no special properties, now what should we do? Then ask yourself, is there anything special about the numbers given? Because you don't know how to proceed, then many times the information will be contained in the numbers. So observe the numbers carefully, right? So here we will say, now observe. Look at the numbers. Root 3, root 10, root 7, root 6, root 5, root 8. Right? Clearly all irrational. But if you stare a little more, you will realize 3 plus 10 is 13, 7 plus 6 is 13, 5 plus 8 is 13. Now, if any of you looked at those numbers and realized it is happening, good, congratulations. You will need that skill of observation, okay? If anybody did not get, don't worry. With practice, your observational skills will improve. So, 3 plus 10 is 13, 7 plus 6 is 13, 5 plus 8 is 13. Which means, I need to get rid of square roots and then I need to add them. How do I do that? Finding distance from origin. Only when you find distance from origin, can you get rid of the square root and square. Okay. So, now observe, if O is 0, 0, the origin, then OA square would be simply, x1 square plus x2 square, root 3 square plus root 10 square, which is 13, Similarly, OB square is 13 and OC square is also 13. Now if the sides may not be equal, but their distances from origin are all equal, right? Which means OA equal to OB equal to OC. What does that tell you? What it means is O is the, what is the point? Circumcenter, right? Which means O is the circumcenter center of triangle ABC, right? Okay, so now we know the circumcenter and we need to figure out the orthocenter. So now do you recall what is the relationship between circumcenter and orthocenter? If you bring in median also, not median, centroid, we know that O plus 2S equal to 3G, where O equal to orthocenter. Now I want you to be careful. This O is the origin and this O is the orthocenter. So just be a little bit careful. If you want, I will just draw a slight line here, okay, to differentiate the two O's. Alright. So we know that O plus 2S equal to 3G, where O is the orthocenter. Right? So here we need to figure out the orthocenter. Here O equal to, it is not known, unknown. S is the circumcenter, which is, what is circumcenter? 0, 0. Right? S is the circumcenter, which is 0, 0. And G is centroid. And you know the formula for centroid, which is what? Root 3 plus, we need a bit more space. Equal to root 3 plus root 7 plus root 5 by 3, comma, root 10 plus root 6 plus root 8, the whole upon 3. Right? That is the centroid. So I know this and I know this, which means I can figure out orthocenter. Correct? You mark this as 1. Right? I hope there is no 1 anywhere. Yeah. Okay. So just substitute. Substituting in 1. Let's just go back and see there is no 1. Alright. Substituting in 1. Looks like we have run out of space. So please take a screenshot. I am going to clean this. Okay, please take a screenshot. Okay, so substituting in 1. Just keep in mind this is the G. What is that? O plus 2S equal to 3G, where O equal to unknown. Basically O we need to find out. S is 0, 0 and G is root 3 plus root 5 plus root 7 by 3 plus root 7 plus root 5. Just for your clarity. Okay, root 3 plus root 7 plus root 5 and then root 10 plus root 6 plus root 8 by 3. Right? Which means O plus 2 times 0, 0 would be 3 times G. If I multiply this with 3, the denominator will go away. So root 3 plus root 7 plus root 5 comma root 10 plus root 6 plus root 8. Correct? And anyway, this is 0, comma 0, which means I can just ignore that. So your O becomes this point, right? Which means O is just this, root 3 plus root 7 plus root 5, comma, root 10 plus root 6 plus root 8. Okay? So do you realize the power of observation? Only by observation can you figure out that all these 3 points are equidistant from origin. Alright? Once that is clear, the rest of it will become obvious. Okay? Let us proceed then. If 0, comma 0 is the orthocenter of a triangle formed by A cos alpha sin alpha, B cos beta sin beta, C cos gamma sin gamma, then angle BAC. Alright? Now, orthocenter is given. Origin is the orthocenter. These 3 points. Once again, like I said, there is no formula that we are going to use for orthocenter. So next question is there anything special about triangle ABC? Now, because the angles are given as cos alpha sin alpha, cos beta sin beta, cos gamma sin gamma, what is special about those vertices? We know that as soon as you see cos and sin, what comes to your mind? Cos square plus sin square is 1, right? Whatever be the angle. So we know that cos square alpha plus sin square alpha equal to 1. That is the observation, right? Similarly, cos square beta plus sin square beta equal to 1, etc. So at least I know that if I can square and add them, I will get 1, right? Now, given O 0, comma 0 is the orthocenter. But how do I manage to square and add these? We did this in the previous question. Squaring and adding you can achieve by finding distance from origin, right? So now we will say observe OA square. What is OA square? It will be cos alpha minus 0 the whole square plus, wait, let us write more neatly. Observe OA square is cos alpha minus 0 the whole square plus sin alpha minus 0 the whole square, which is cos square alpha plus sin square alpha, which is 1, right? Similarly, OB square is 1, OC square is also 1, right? Which means OA equal to OB equal to OC. So O is a point that is equidistant from the 3 vertices, which means what? It means automatically O is the circumcenter of triangle ABC. Once again, if anybody is getting confused, just because these 3 are equal, how can we say this is circumcenter? Think about it like this. There is a point that is at equal distance from the 3 vertices. So through that point, using that point as center, I can draw a circle that passes through A, B and C, right? If the circle that is passing through A, B and C, that means automatically that circle is circumcircle, the center is circumcenter, right? But what is happening? O is the circumcenter and it is also given that O is the orthocenter. What happens? Automatically triangle must be equilateral, right? But given O 0, comma 0 is also the orthocenter of triangle ABC, right? So what is happening? We have a triangle in which the orthocenter is also the circumcenter, right? So the orthocenter, the point of intersection of the altitudes, is also the circumcenter, right? Which means this point is equidistant from the 3 vertices. Once again, if you observe, simply you can say because of symmetry, all the angles will be equal, right? So Orthocenter. So if these two are equal, then automatically these two sides are equal, right? So by symmetry you can say, or you can try and prove it also by symmetry. No, wait a minute. Just write it clearly. Since O and H, no, since circumcenter and orthocenter coincide. Okay, so this is what I was trying to say. If these two are halves are equal, that means this also becomes the median, right? And if then these three line segments will be the medians, they will also be altitudes, they will also be perpendicular bisectors. So basically, centroid, orthocenter, circumcenter, everything is coinciding. That only happens in an equilateral triangle, right? Coincide, which means triangle ABC is equilateral. Now, if it is an equilateral triangle, angle BAC automatically becomes 60 degrees. Got it? Yes? So, this observation once again, that OA square equal to OB square equal to OC square, it comes only by observation. Observe the given information carefully. Alright? Okay. Let us proceed then. The orthocenter, circumcenter, centroid and incenter of the triangle formed by the line x plus y equal to A with the coordinate axis lie on. Okay. So we have a line x plus y equal to A. Okay. Given line x plus y equal to A. Can we find some points on this line? If x equal to 0, what happens? Y equal to A, and if y equal to 0, x equal to A, right? If this is 0, x equal to A. If this is 0, y equal to A. Which means 2 points on the line. What are those 2 points? 0, A and A, 0 lie on the line. Why did we do this? Because now we need to plot this line. Okay. How? No. Making a jump here. First plot the points. A, 0. Now if this distance is A, this distance also should be A. Exactly. So 0, A. Which means these two sides are going to be equal and this is a right angle. And you have your line. Join them and extend. This is x plus y equal to A. Alright. So now this is the triangle formed by this line with the coordinate axis. O, call it A, B. Okay. So first observation is triangle OAB is right isosceles. Right isosceles, because right angle you can see very clearly. Why isosceles? Because this distance is A, this distance is also A, right? OA equal to OB. Alright. So now, the orthocenter, circumcenter, centroid and incenter of this triangle formed by this line with the coordinate axis lie on what? So now for this triangle, let us try and figure out the coordinates of each of these, right? So first orthocenter. So clearly angle O is 90 degrees, which means, what did we say earlier? Orthocenter of a right angle triangle is the angle which is right angled, right? Which means triangle OAB. Now we'll just, rather than which means, we'll say we know that orthocenter of right triangle is the right angled vertex. Right? Which means orthocenter of this triangle OAB is 0, 0. Now circumcenter, right? For circumcenter, again, this is a right angle triangle. In a right angle triangle, circumcenter is midpoint of hypotenuse. Again, we have done this earlier. We have seen it in earlier classes also. So we know that circumcenter of a right triangle is midpoint of hypotenuse. Right? So here midpoint of AB, A is 0, A comma 0, B is 0 comma A. Right? So midpoint of A comma 0, B 0 comma A, right? S, the symbol we use for circumcenter is S. S would be A plus 0 by 2 comma 0 plus A by 2, which is A by 2 comma A by 2, right? And what else do we know? We know the centroid. Centroid is simply sum of vertices upon 2, upon 3, right? So it will be, look at the vertices, 0 comma 0, A comma 0, 0 comma A, right? Which means 0 plus A plus 0 by 3, comma, right? 0 plus A plus 0 by 3, and then 0 plus 0 plus A by 3. 0 plus A by 3, which is A by 3 comma A by 3, right? So we know 3 points on the line. For in center, again there is no formula, and the process to figure out in center is much longer, which you will do when you get to straight lines chapter. So with this 3 itself, we can actually figure out what is the answer. Observe these coordinates carefully. 0 comma 0, A by 2 comma A by 2, A by 3 comma A by 3. What is special about these 3 points? The x and y coordinates are same, right? So what does that mean? We want a line on which x and y coordinates are the same. What should that line be? Y equal to x. Because mathematically, if I want to write x and y coordinates are same, I will write it as x equal to y or y equal to x, right? Which is option 2. Okay? Understand, it's a very basic thing. Later you will realize the graph of y equal to x and all those things. But the most basic point is on y equal to x, every point, its x and y coordinates will be same, right? So, which means orthocenter 0 comma 0, circumcenter which is A by 2 comma A by 2, centroid A by 3 comma A by 3. Right? So, clearly all points have x coordinate equal to y coordinate, which means all points lie on y equal to x, right? Actually, based on this, we will write x equal to y. X equal to y. That is, x equal to y is not there in the options, but y equal to x is there. y equal to x. Got it? Yes? So even the incenter, when you figure out how to find the incenter, you will realize the incenter also lies on y equal to x. Okay? There is something else you could have done. Alright? I'm not going to give you full details, but shortcut. So, alternate. Completely based on diagram. We know that this triangle looks like this, where this is right angle and these two sides are equal. Now triangle OAB is isosceles, right? Which means all the points, all the important centers, they will lie on the vertex through which the equal sides are going. Can you see that? Right? Which means if I draw which means there is one median which also serves as perpendicular bisector, altitude, angle bisector, right? One median. So if you draw that one median, call it M, right? Which means OM is median, perpendicular bisector, altitude, angle bisector. You know that, which means you need to figure out the equation of OM. And if you observe OM very carefully, OM is going such that if you take any point of OM, if you take any single point on OM, this distance and this distance will be same, because OM is exactly at 45 degrees and OM makes 45 degrees with positive x-axis. Because it makes 45 degrees with positive x-axis, every x coordinate and every y coordinate on OM are going to be equal. So that should be enough. OM, I'll just, because there is no space, I will just write it y equal to x. Y equal to x is the equation of OM. Okay. Now you can do all this, or if you understand how equations are done and if you know the graph of y equal to x, which you will later, you will be able to figure out this purely based on the diagram itself. Okay. Alright. Then let us proceed. OM makes positive 45 degrees positive x, which means y equal to x is equation of OM. No, there is no space, you won't be able to see this. I'm just going to write this y equal to x which means OM has the equation y equal to x. Alright? Got it? Okay, then let us proceed. The line join of the points 2, 3 and -1, 5 subtends a right angle at P. If the locus of P is a circle, then radius is what? Alright. First of all, what is locus? Now, locus is a concept, very important concept that you are going to do in much detail later. Okay, right now, because I found a question, I thought let us just understand the basic and you will be able to solve it. So first understand that whenever you see locus of, I am not going into the detail of what is locus, etc., etc. I am just telling you how to work with that question. Okay, whenever you see locus of, you replace it with curve joining points like. Curve joining points like. Okay, just you replace these words with this and then you read the question again. The line join of the points 2, 3 and -1, 5 subtends a right angle at P. If the curve joining points like P is a circle, then its radius is what? So we need to now find the curve joining points like P, and it is given that it is a circle. Then what is the radius of that circle? Alright. So first of all, there is a line join of these 2 points. 2, 3 and -1, 5. And there is a point P on which this line subtends right angle. Okay, so think of a point P on which this line subtends a right angle. What does it mean by subtends? It means the line will make a right angle on this point. Okay, that is given in the first sentence. The second sentence is, if the curve joining points like P is a circle. So we need to find the curve joining points like P. So now ask yourself, what are the other points like P? Where else can I find other points like P? Alright, so think of, see, if I just reflect it somewhere over here, call it P1. Do you realize this one will also be 90 degrees? Where else? Where else can I find? Over here also, reflect it down, P2. Do you realize this will also be 90 degrees? Now, do you recall that whenever the angle subtended by the diameter on the end point, sorry, on any point of the circle is 90 degrees? Do you remember this? So, let us just say, recall that if you have a circle and if you have diameter, diameter subtends right angle, take this point A, B, P. Diameter subtends right angle on any point on the circle. This is something that you have studied in earlier classes. Now match these 2 diagrams. You can actually find infinite such points on which this line segment will subtend a right angle. And it is given in the question that locus is a circle, which means the curve joining the points like P is a circle. So why don't you draw that circle? Right? So if you draw that circle, automatically do you realize this line becomes diameter. You see, we are going the reverse direction. We are saying, we know there is a property that says diameter will always subtend 90 degree on the circle. That is one part. Then another part we are saying, there are a lot of such points on which this line segment subtends 90 degree. Then we are trying to match these two and saying that, you know what, if this was the diameter, then all these points will become the circle for which this is the diameter, right? So, joining these two. So now let us just write what we understood. Okay. Clearly, circle with, let us label these 2 points, A and B, with A 2, 3 and B -1, 5 as now. Clearly with circle with AB as diameter. AB as diameter. Where have we written what is A and B? No. Okay, so clearly circle with AB as diameter, where A is the point 2, 3, B is the point -1, 5. Circle with AB as diameter will pass through will subtend 90 degrees at P, P1, P2, etc. all possible positions of P right? So since this is a circle and AB is the diameter and all possible points when you're joining you're getting that circle, so your conclusion is we are finding radius of the circle, right? Which means AB is the diameter. I am just taking this part out. AB is the diameter, which means AB equal to 2 times radius, right? Just length AB, and AB we can find out. That is 2r equal to, what is this distance? 2 minus 1 the whole square plus 3 minus 5 the whole square. Right? We're just calculating distance. So how much is that? That is under root 2 minus 1, 3 square 9 plus 3 minus 5, so 2 square is 4. What is under root 9 plus 4? Root 13. Right? Which means 2r is root 13. R is root 13, which means your radius is root 13 by 2. Got it? So locus of P, or rather the curve joining all points like P is a circle with this radius. Right? Okay. Let us proceed then. Two vertices of a triangle are 5, -1 and -2, 3. If the orthocenter is origin, then coordinates of third vertex is what? Okay, so two vertices of a triangle are given and orthocenter is origin, then coordinates of third vertex. Okay, so we have something like this, that orthocenter is origin, right? So there is a triangle. Let us label 5, -1, B -2, 3, C, let us call it H, K, we don't know what is C, and if you drop any two altitudes, there is O, which is, we know, 0, 0, right? So now we need to find the vertex C, right? So first observation, we know that if you want the third vertex, is there anything special about the third vertex? We don't know this, but we do know coordinates of A, B and O, right? And do you recall the property that orthocenter of triangle ABO is the third vertex? Earlier, one of the earlier questions we have done, that orthocenter of the triangle formed by orthocenter plus any two vertices is automatically the third vertex. Right? Once again, how did that come about? Because for the triangle, let us say AOB, for this triangle, AO is one altitude, AO is one altitude, BO is another altitude, and the third altitude will pass through O itself, right? And they will all end up meeting at C. Correct? So we know that orthocenter of triangle BOA is C, right? This is property of orthocenter. No, or rather we should say, since O is orthocenter of triangle ABC. Okay, since O is the orthocenter of triangle ABC, C is the orthocenter of triangle BOA. That is another way of remembering it. Okay, so now we need to figure out the coordinates of the third vertex, which means we need to figure out the orthocenter of triangle AOB, right? So what do we need to find? To find orthocenter of triangle AOB. Okay. So now there is a formula given in your material also that tells you the orthocenter of a triangle in which one of the vertices is origin. Okay, so we are directly going to use the formula. The formula is easy to derive, but not right now because it requires you to write equations of straight lines and all that and points of intersection, which we will do later. Okay, so we are directly going to use that formula. So we know that orthocenter of triangle OAB where O is 0, 0, A is x1, x2 and B is y1, sorry, not x1, x2, x1, y1 A is x1, y1, B is x2, y2. We know that orthocenter of this triangle is given by, here is the formula, okay, let us just write the formula directly. K into y2 minus y1 comma minus k into x2 minus x1 where k itself is this expression x1 x2 plus y1 y2 upon x1 y2 minus x2 y1 x2 y1. Okay, this may be a little bit long for you to remember, but because it is such a special case where one of the vertices is origin, I think if you can remember it, good enough. If not, later when you do straight line chapter, you will be able to derive this. Okay, so here x1 y1 is 5 comma minus 1, x2 y2 is minus 2 comma 3, right? Which means first figure out k. K is equal to x1 x2. x1 x2 is 5 into minus 2 plus y1 y2, so minus 1 into 3 divided by x1 y2, so 5 into 3 minus x2 y1 minus 1 into 3. Minus 1 into 3. Okay, so x1 y2 minus x2 y1. Okay, this is not correct. x1 y2 minus x2 y1. So minus x2 is minus 2, y1 is minus 1. All right. Okay, so let us figure this out. This is minus 10 minus 3. So minus 13 divided by, what about this? 15 minus 2. This is 13. So at least k is minus 1. Right? K is minus 1. Right? Y2 minus y1. Which means orthocenter of triangle OAB equal to, substitute minus 1 into y2 minus y1. y2 minus y1, so 3 minus minus 1 and minus of minus 1 into, you see, minus of minus 1 into x2 minus x1. So 5 minus minus 2. 5 minus minus 2. Okay, no, that is not neat. Maybe we should write it on the next page. So orthocenter of triangle OAB equal to k into y2 minus y1 comma minus k into x2 minus x1, right? Which is minus 1 into, this is a point. So minus 1 into y2 minus y1. So 3 minus minus 1 and minus of minus 1, right? Minus k, so minus of minus 1 into x2 minus x1. So minus 2 minus 5, right? So that is minus of 4, right? Minus of 4 and then comma minus of minus 1 is plus 1 into minus 7. Got it? So yes, which means right. This is orthocenter of third vertex. Mind you, this is orthocenter of triangle BOC. Orthocenter of triangle OAB is minus 4 comma minus 1 minus 7. But they have asked what is the third vertex? But we have already said this earlier that the third vertex is the orthocenter of triangle OAB, which is equal to third vertex. That is C H comma K, right? So which means third vertex equal to minus 4 comma minus 7. That then becomes your answer. All right? Got it? All right, then let us proceed. If A is equal to minus 3 comma 0, B is 4 comma minus 1, C is 5 comma 2 are vertices of triangle ABC, then length of altitude through A is what? All right. So the triangle is given 3 vertices, A minus 3 comma 0, B 4 comma minus 1, C is 5 comma 2, right? Length of altitude through A. Take this point as D, right? This point as D. B is minus 3 comma, sorry, not, B is 4 comma minus 1. 4 comma minus 1, right? Now obviously length of altitude we can find if we knew the coordinates of D, right? We don't know the coordinates of D. Later when you do straight lines chapter, you will learn a formula to find coordinates of D. Okay, it is called foot of the perpendicular. You will figure it out later. But right now, because we don't know that, we need to figure out something else. Okay. Let us first ask whether there is anything special about triangle ABC. How do we do that? We will do that by just checking the length of sides, right? So we will first check. This is like the initial trial and error at the beginning of the problem. AB. AB would be minus 3 minus 4 the whole square and 0 minus 1 the whole square. Minus 3 minus 4 is minus 7 square and then 0 minus minus 1 1 square, which is 49 plus 1, so root 50. AB is root 50, BC is under root BC, so 4 minus 5 minus 1 square and then minus 1 minus 2 minus 3 square, which is, this is 1 plus 9, 10 under root, so root 10. It is BC and AC. AC would be under root minus 3 minus 5 minus 8 the whole square plus 0 minus 2 minus 2 the whole square, which is under root 64 plus 4, 68. Alright, so clearly none of the sides are equal, and it's not like if you square and add any two, you get the third one. It's not a right angle triangle also, right? So basically nothing special about this triangle from first look, right? Which means triangle ABC is scalene and no right angles. This is just for our understanding, okay? So now we have a non-special triangle and we need to find the altitude. So the next question is there anything else we know about altitudes, right? Ask yourself, of all the things that you have studied till now, how many places does altitude appear? Altitudes, we have seen that it will appear whenever there is something about orthocenter, but nothing special about these vertices, so we don't know where the orthocenter is. Where else? Do you recall that altitude also appears in area formula, area of triangle, correct? So, we will say, we know that area of triangle ABC, this area can be written as half base into height. What is the base? BC. Height is AD, right? So half BC into AD. Now we want to find the length AD. Do you know the length BC? Yes, because coordinates are given, so we know length BC. Do you know area ABC? Yes, for that also there is a formula. You have studied that formula, which means in this equation, this can be figured out, this can be figured out, and using those two, AD can be figured out, correct? So, mark this as 1. Also, area of triangle ABC, area formula is half mod of determinant x1, y1, 1, x2, y2, 1, x3, y3, 1. This determinant, right? Which is half of mod of, what is the determinant here? Minus 3, 0, 1. 4, minus 1, 1. 5, 2, 1. This determinant with a mod, which is half mod minus 3 into minus 1, minus 2. So, minus 3. Then minus 0 into some terms. And then plus 1 into, that is 8 minus 5. So 8 plus 5. Another bracket and mod. So this is half of, clearly this is positive, this is also positive. So I can ignore the mod. And minus 3 into minus 3 is 9 plus 13. Right? How much is 9 plus 13? 22. 22 plus 2 is, 22 upon 2 is 11. So now we know area. Area of triangle ABC. LHS is known. What about BC? Mark this as result 2. And BC equal to, simply apply distance formula. Actually, we have figured out. We have already seen what is the length BC. BC is root 10. And BC is equal to root 10. Substitute 2 and 3 in 1, right? We have area, which is 11, equal to half BC, which is root 10 into AD. Which means AD would be cross multiply 2 and then bring root 10 down. So 11 into 2 upon root 10. Which is 22 by root 10, right? That's your answer, 22 by root 10, correct? Now, often in the exam, you are not able to figure out what is the right answer. In fact, you won't even know how to proceed. Many times it has to occur to you because, for example, in this question, what if you don't recall that I can use the area formula? What if it doesn't occur to you? Then, especially in coordinate geometry questions, if you are able to plot everything perfectly, then many times, but not always, many times you can guess the correct answer. You can guess the correct answer also when you see the options are far apart. You know, the distance between the options is, they're not very close to each other, which means you can use approximation and try and guess the answer. Okay, for example, here, let us try and plot it carefully. So A is minus 3, 0. So mark 1, 2, 3. Okay. So A is minus 3, 0. This is A. B is 4, minus 1. 1, 2, 3, 4 and minus 1. This is B. 4, minus 1. Minus 3, 0. And C is 5, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4 go by 5 and 1, 2. Go here. C is 5, 2. Now, if you plot everything carefully, join these. Now we need to find the altitude through A, right? Join it. Join these two and extend. Okay. Now I want the altitude through A. So something like that. Yes, probably. Okay. So now I need to find this length AD. Now how do you guess this length? We know among all these things, I know the length of AC and I know the length of AB, right? If I have to approximate it, what we can do is try and figure out how much is AD with respect to AB. Okay, a lot of this is guesswork. Keep in mind, this is guesswork. All right. So if I want this length, what I will do is consider this as center and this as radius. Draw an approximate circle. Okay, like you can imagine, no, a circle will go like this, something like that, right? Now, if that is a circle, then you see this length would be AD. Call this D dash. I'm just trying to approximately think how much would this length be, okay? Or look at this, 6 point, okay. If you just extend it a little bit, this circle seems to have curved a little more here. So be careful with how you're drawing everything. Something like that would be better, right? So this is D dash, call this D double dash. Okay, why? Because if you observe carefully, this length is pretty clear to us, you know, 1, 2, 3. We know this is 3 units and slightly more, right? So D dash is approximately at, observe this point, what is that? 3.6 comma something, you know, it is slightly closer, between 3 and 4 but closer to 4, which means AD dash is approximately how much? 6.6 or something. And we know, because this is a circle, AD dash must be equal to AD. That is the logic, which is equal to AD. So now, among all the options, find out which option is closer to 6.6. Okay. So now options. In the options, just keep in mind that root 10, how much is the approximate value of root 10? 3.2 something, correct? 3.2. Now 2 upon 3.2, 2 is anyway less than 3.2, so that is definitely not the answer. 4 upon 3.2, 4 is only slightly more than 3.2, right? So again 4 upon 3.2 cannot be the answer. 11 upon 3.2. Now 11 upon 3.2, multiply 3.2 with 6.6, right? Observe 3.2 into 6.6. How much will that be? 32 into 6, 12 carry 1, 18, 19 cross, right? And you want to multiply with 6.6, so 192. 2, 1, 2, 1, 21, right? So this will be approximately, 21.22, right? Which means what? Which means root 10 into AD. Root 10 into AD is 21.22. We want anyway, which means AD would be 21.22 upon root 10, correct? Root 10 into AD is approximately 21.22. So AD is approximately 21.22 upon root 10. The closest is 22 upon root 10. You see, all of this, again, it looks like we are doing a lot of work, but you know, when you do it, when everything is happening mentally, you know, this can happen very fast. You will guess the answer pretty quickly. Okay, but this requires a lot of practice and exact drawings that you can practice, not a problem. Okay, so just in case, sometimes practice this also. All right. Then let us proceed. If the midpoints of the sides of a triangle are half comma 0, 0 comma half and half comma half, then circumcenter is. Alright. So because exact coordinates are given, why don't we try and plot it? 0 comma half comma 0. Let us say this is 1, so this will be half. Half comma 0 and 0 comma half. So this distance is also half. 0 comma half on y axis, correct? Half comma 0 is on x axis, 0 comma half is on y axis, and half comma half, which means exactly above this point and right side of this point. This is half comma half. Label them A, B, C, right? These are the midpoints. Now we have seen a question like this similar, that if you join these points, join the midpoints, you get, in fact you get a square, and you also know that line through the third midpoint, which is parallel to line joining these two midpoints, will be the third side, right? Which means through C, draw line parallel to BA, right? Let it meet at D and E, right? So through C half comma half, line parallel to BA is the third side, correct, of triangle. Automatically we know that. And then clearly BC is parallel to AD and BC. So these two are parallel. AC is parallel to OE. So automatically the triangle then becomes ODE, right? Let it meet axis at D and E, right? Which means by extension, triangle ODE is the required triangle. Simply because if these three are midpoints, then you can figure out the original triangle also. And now this triangle, what is special about this? It is not only is it right angle, it is also isosceles, right? Because these two coordinates are half distance. This is 1 distance, right? Which means OD is 1 comma 0, not OD, sorry. D, point D, its coordinates would be 1 comma 0, and point E, its coordinates will be 0 comma 1. Okay, and so now we need to figure out the circumcenter. This is a right angle triangle. In a right angle triangle, where is the circumcenter? Midpoint of hypotenuse. But midpoint of hypotenuse is already given, half comma half. Directly, half comma half becomes your answer, right? This comes from being able to draw and being able to extend that on your own. Okay, so also triangle ODE is right angled at O, right? Which means circumcenter of triangle ODE is midpoint of hypotenuse, which is given to be C half comma half. So circumcenter is half comma half. If you have understood the situation perfectly, you will directly be able to mark it without writing any of those things. Okay, all right, let us proceed. Okay, orthocenter of the triangle is 2 comma 1 and the circumcenter is 7 by 2 comma 5 by 2. Then its 9-point circle center is. Okay, this is a directly formula based question. Whenever orthocenter circumcenter is given, you can always figure out the centroid and the 9-point center. Okay, so we know that relation between orthocenter, circumcenter and 9-point center is given by Now remember this figure. ONGS. Okay, ONGS. It sounds like ONGC, the famous oil company. So ONGS. And these ratios are 3:1:2. You will have to remember this. Now you already know that OGS, right? You already know that OGS, G divides OS in the ratio 2:1. Observe, this is 3 plus 1, 4:2 is 2:1. Then you also kind of need to remember that N divides OG in the ratio 3:1, right? Now based on this, can you tell me what is the relationship between orthocenter, circumcenter and 9-point center, right? Here O is orthocenter, N 9-point center, G centroid, and S circumcenter. Alright, so observe carefully, forget G for the time being. Between O and S, what is the relationship? This part is 3 units, what about this? Also 1 plus 2, 3 units, no? Which means N is the midpoint of O and S. Okay, so from the figure, N is midpoint of O and S, right? So here O and S are given, therefore just find the midpoint, right? Here O is 2,1 orthocenter, S is 7/2, 5/2, right? Which means N is 2 plus 7/2 upon 2, 1 plus 5/2 upon 2, midpoint formula. So cross multiply this 2, it becomes 4 plus 7, 11 by 2 by 2. So 11/2 upon 2, 11/2 upon 2, cross multiply this 2, 2 plus 5, 7/2 by 2. 7/2 divided by 2, right? How much is that? This 2 will come down, 11/4, and this 2 comes down, 7/4, right? 11/4 and 7/4. Okay, so you will need to remember that diagram. All right? Okay, let us proceed then. If a vertex, the circumcenter and the centroid of a triangle are 0, 0, 2, 5 and 4, 10, then the triangle must be what? What kind of a triangle? Right angle, isosceles, isosceles, right isosceles. Sorry, right angle, equilateral, isosceles, right isosceles. Okay. Only 3 vertices are given. Not even 3 vertices. One vertex is 0, 0. Circumcenter is 2, 5. Centroid is 4, 10. Now, with centroid, if the third vertex was given, then with 2 vertices and centroid, maybe we can find a third vertex, then maybe we can figure out. But the third vertex is not given. Forget third vertex. Even second vertex not, only one vertex is given. Circumcenter, we know there is no fixed formula for circumcenter, right? So clearly this is not one of those typical questions where you have to find the numbers, etc. What else can you do? Then observation. Stare at the numbers carefully, nicely, and see whether numbers are telling you some story. Look at these numbers. 0, 0, 2, 5, 4, 10. What is special about these numbers? Can you see 4, 10 is double of 2, 5? Yes, double of 2, 5, which means 2, 5 is midpoint of these two, right? What does that mean? For us, what is important is, this means these 3 points are basically lying on a straight line. So let A 0, 0, circumcenter S 2, 5 G 4, 10, right? So clearly 2, 5 is midpoint, 0, 0 and 4, 10. This will require some amount of observation, which means if you draw this triangle, you will realize that if this is G, this is S and this is A, right? So, do you realize that there is only one kind of triangle in which a vertex, a circumcenter and a centroid will follow in a straight line? What is that kind of a triangle? An isosceles triangle, okay, which means this is not the correct diagram. We'll change this. A, S, G, right? We know that only in isosceles triangles ASG are collinear. Why not an equilateral triangle? Because in an equilateral triangle, S and G would be at the same point. S and G would be the same point. It is not equilateral. Why is it not right isosceles? There is nothing in the question that is suggesting a right angle triangle. Okay, so we can't be sure that it is a right isosceles, but we can be sure that this is an isosceles triangle, right? So, which means given triangle is isosceles. Got it? Okay, let us proceed then. If a circle is centered at origin and the centroid of an inscribed triangle is at 1, 1, then find its orthocenter. Okay. If a circle is centered at origin, alright, we have a circle that is centered at origin and centroid of an inscribed triangle. So we have an inscribed triangle for which the centroid is 1, 1. Let us mark 1, 1. This is the centroid. So maybe something like that. We don't know where the vertices ABC are lying. G is given, which is 1, 1. And O. So we know the centroid. Do you know any other special points of this triangle? Wait, why did I draw this circle and point ABC? Because the question says centroid of an inscribed triangle. So in this circle there is a triangle that is inscribed. For that triangle centroid is 1, 1. Okay. So the question is, apart from centroid, do we know any other special point for this triangle? You see, this triangle ABC is inscribed in a circle. Therefore, automatically the circle becomes circumcircle. And center of circumcircle is origin because it is given in the question, which means O is the circumcenter. Okay, so it is given triangle ABC is inscribed in circle with center at O and G 1, 1 is the centroid of triangle ABC. And the question is asking find its orthocenter, right? So we know that between centroid, orthocenter and circumcenter there is a relationship. So if I know circumcenter, using circumcenter and centroid, I can find the orthocenter, right? So I need to find the circumcenter. For circumcenter, you realize that this is actually the circumcircle, right? So let us work backwards to find orthocenter, right? So now we know that what is the relationship between centroid, orthocenter and circumcenter? O plus 2S equal to 3G. right? Where, okay, once again, this O is not origin, so we will just put a slightly different mark here. Where O with this mark is orthocenter, which you need to find out. S equal to circumcenter, which we also don't know as yet, and G equal to centroid. So to find this, first we should find this, and to find the circumcenter, but triangle ABC is inscribed in the circle, which means the circle is circumcircle. Circumcircle of triangle ABC. And if it is circumcircle of triangle ABC, then O is the O. Which O? Origin is the circumcenter. That's it. So now we know circumcenter, we know orthocenter. Sorry, we know circumcenter, we know centroid. We just need to figure out orthocenter, right? So substitute, which means, right, once again, O is unknown, S is 0, 0, G is 1, 1, right? Which means O plus 2S equal to 3G. I'm just writing it like this just to differentiate it from origin. Okay, plus 2 and O plus 2S equal to 3G. This will imply substitute O plus 2 times S is 0, 0 equal to 3 times 1, 1, right? So 2 times 0, 0 will anyway not give you anything. So this means O is 3, 3. Got it? 3, 3 is its orthocenter. Got it? Okay. Just to be clear, just write down, which means O 3, 3 is the orthocenter. Okay, I'm writing it like this so that it's not origin, you realize that. Okay, all right. Okay, so looks like we have reached the end of this session. Thank you.